It is Tiz the Law in front with 3/16 to the finish. Tiz the Law has a 4-lane lead. He's left the others behind.
Live from the backstretch at historic Saratoga Racecourse, this is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow. Racing Across America is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The Leah Auto Group, Leah Cars for life. Find them on the web at leahcars.com. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State. And the Clubhouse Racebook. Can't make it to the track? Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Good morning, and bittersweet good morning from live from Saratoga. Our Clare Court set, Seth Merrow with Racing Across America, the last Racing Across America of the 2021 season. Again, always a little bittersweet. It's been a long meet, ready for a little bit of a break, but always hate to leave Saratoga. It's been a lot of fun, and part of that is due to you. So thanks to everybody for tuning in during the season, giving great feedback over on the front side as well. This morning, a little bit later on, we'll be joined by Capital OTB President John Signor to kind of recap the season from a Capital OTB perspective. But otherwise, I'm just going to kind of sit in and give a little bit of a season recap and whatnot. I reached out to Umberto Chavez from the Racetrack Chaplaincy, and I've tried to get him on a few times this season. He's kind of been back and forth down to their base, down at the tracks downstate as well. But I always like to get Umberto in to talk a little bit about the Racetrack Chaplaincy. And I kind of feel like that's part of the mission of the show, year in and year out, to give a little behind the scenes and bring in the trainers and the jockeys and industry people and hopefully maybe some people you aren't familiar with or some jobs you aren't familiar with. But we also like to tout some of the racing-related charities during the season. One of those is the Racetrack Chaplaincy. So as I say, I couldn't connect with Umberto, but I would advise you to, swing by their website, Racetrack Chaplaincy of New York. It's RTCANY, Racetrack Chaplaincy of New York.org, RTCANY.org. And again, you can Google Racetrack Chaplaincy of New York and pull it up. And, if you're considering donating to a charity, the chaplaincy does great work. One of their big fundraisers typically has been the jockey basketball game up here, which I have played in a couple of times. I retired a few years ago after I got my first basket. I retired, but always a lot of fun, and it's fun to see the jockeys. The two Ortiz brothers are pretty good hoop players. Last year, obviously, no basketball game. This year, people forget how soon before the meet began that really the rules changed in New York to allow us to have full capacity up here at the racetrack. But because of that, the basketball game was kind of up in the air as the season started, and then they thought they were going to have the basketball game, but subsequently, as things changed a little bit in New York, they decided, we'll wait another year as well. So one of their main fundraisers has been postponed for a couple of years, but keep that in mind and consider, if you are thinking about maybe if you have that money put away to give to charities every year, a little bit of money to the Racetrack Chaplaincy. And they did kind of an online fundraiser this year. They did something called the Champions Talk. That's actually the national website address. There's a New York address that is more appropriate to the local chaplaincy. There you see the Champions Talk, which I was going to tout as, again, a virtual fundraiser. Tom Durkin hosted, as you see, some of the champion jockeys there from years past, and nice conversation that was recorded early in the meet, but it's been posted on YouTube, and it's a fun conversation with some experienced jockeys, some champion jockeys. You can find it on YouTube, and it also then alerts you a little bit on how you can donate to the Racetrack Chaplaincy New York. So again, go over to YouTube and check out the Chaplaincy's Champions Talk this year as their, again, kind of virtual fundraiser. And as I say, we always like to kind of pull in the charities and tout them. We tied in with a number of charities in the Times Union, as we do every year, and do a charity bet. And I think I looked at the rundown the other day. Everybody made a nice little chunk of money for the charities this year. So all the charities walk away with a little bit of money, and it's fun. Every day in the Times Union, one of our handicappers is playing a $50 charity bet, or multiple bets, adding up to 50 on behalf of the charity they have that day. And as I say, it's fun, and you can kind of follow it in the Times Union. Maybe make a little play on the bets yourself, and hopefully you walk away with some money, and more importantly, or as importantly, the charities walk away with some money as well. And I think we've done well this season for the various charities. TRF is one of our charities. I play for them on Sundays. We have had Kim Weir in here once or twice at least, talking about the TRF Thurber Retirement Foundation. And again, always great. It's become an important issue to the industry over the last few years, the retirement of horses and second careers. TRF Thurber Retirement Foundation, locally based right here in Saratoga. They do a great job, and so we had Kim in to talk about that a little bit. I caught a couple. They had some charity events. I caught the 2 gumbo events early in the meet. Kendrick Carmouche fired up a little gumbo for TRF, and then Michael Baychuk later in the meet fired up some gumbo as well on behalf of TRF. As I say, a couple of Cajuns cooking up gumbo for TRF. I went to both of those events, and the gumbo was thumbs up. They also had the Casa Amigos event at the downtown. I'm forgetting where it was exactly. It was downtown, and I think they were tied in with PDJF. I couldn't make that one because I was at an old friends event that same day down at the Washington Inn. But I put together a little video of the other TRF event, which was a lot of fun, and keep these in mind for next year too. But the barbecue at the barn out at the Saratoga Winery, which a week and a half or so ago, and I put together a little 3-minute video. We talked with Pete Fornatal and Maggie Wolfendale and Acacia Courtney. They talked a little bit about the TRF and how they're involved as well. We put that together and showed it the next morning. But it's also online now, and has kind of gone viral a little bit with folks that are interested in the TRF and the work they do. So again, TRF, good racing-related charity to keep in mind. PDJF, we talked a little bit, I think, when we talked with Johnny Velasquez earlier this season. Their big event has been jockey karaoke across the street at the harness track. They haven't been able to do that the last couple of years. So again, with the last couple of years, some of these charities haven't been able to do some of their major fundraising events. But check out PDJF, Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. Check out their website online. Maybe you can give to them. I mentioned Old Friends. We had our friend Michael Blowen in, but they also have the satellite facility right up the road in Greenfield, Old Friends at Cabin Creek, and of course the original down in Kentucky. And as I say, we had Michael Blowen in. They had a little event out at the Washington Inn earlier in the meet, and they do great work as well with some of the retired horses they take care of. Belmont Child Care Association, another one to keep in mind, BCCA. We had Michael Dubb and Libby Imperio come in to talk about the opening of Faith's House, the backstretch facility up here at Saratoga, taking care of the children of the backstretch workers and more, not just backstretch workers, racetrack folks involved in any capacity. The nice facility, the preschool facility that does a great job. Downstate, they have Anna's House, had for a number of years, and that does a great job. And then they opened the facility up here right at the beginning of the meet, Faith's House. So again, BCCA, Belmont Child Care Association. You can Google all of these, go to their website, and all of them have a donate button. And again, I always think that's kind of part of the mission when we're up here, because we get a chance to talk to a wide audience and just alert you to some of the really great racing charities that are worth taking a look at. And if you do put a chunk of money aside every year to maybe donate to charity, you can think about some of those. Do want to remind you, as we are now transitioning out of Saratoga, and during Saratoga we're so Saratoga-centric that we don't really concentrate on other venues. But again, we're now moving to the other spots, and so keep in mind, today closing day at Del Mar as well. At Del Mar, it's the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. A mile on the grass for the 2-year-olds, field of 9 in there. The morning line favorite, optimizing at 3 to, no, it's Silver Surfer at 5-2. Comes in from Europe moves into the barn of Phil D'Amato. Won a race over in Europe and Ireland last time, so on that gets the 5-2 favoritism. But the second choice at 3-1 is optimizing also coming in out of a win over in Europe. So a couple of European 2-year-olds taking the action on the morning line at Del Mar. Well, I bring up the other venues because I do want to remind you we are now underway at Kentucky Downs, and everybody likes these Kentucky Downs races. A lot of value. They had the funky layout, and they put up crazy money there. So over the few days that will be coming up of the Kentucky Downs meet, you will see a lot of New York trainers and a lot of New York horses and jockeys. Today at Kentucky Downs, juvenile fillies race for $500,000 in that Aristocrat Juvenile Filly Stakes race. Keep that in mind. Nice field of 10 entered there. They also have the WinStar Mint Million, $1 million up for grabs later this afternoon down at Kentucky Downs for 3-year-olds and up, going a mile on the grass. And field of 11 entered in there. The favorite is Flavius for Juddmonte and Chad Brown. Javier Castellano will be down to ride, leaving from the outside post position. So again, $1 million up for grabs in the big race at Kentucky Downs this afternoon. But we also have another $500,000 up for grabs in the Kentucky Downs Juvenile Mile. Field of 11, and the favorite in here, 3-1, Kiss the Sky for Mike Maker, won Maiden Breaker up here at Saratoga on August 15th. And I'm just curious how many Saratoga runners. Asmussen has Red Run coming out of a try in the Saratoga Special, but going down, hey, they're putting up $500,000. Let's try the turf. Kiss the Sky out of the Saratoga race up. Fan the Fire also for Mike Maker, coming out of a Saratoga race. So you'll see that again over this short Kentucky Downs meet. You will see a lot of Saratoga connections, horses, trainers, and jockeys as well. So keep that in mind. That's a fun meet that will be going on a little bit later this week. Short meet, a lot of money up for grabs, but just wanted to alert you as Saratoga winds up, there is still plenty of action coming up. Now, there will be a little bit of a break before we get back to racing in New York after today. They will not open up back at Belmont until Thursday, September 16th. So keep that in mind. New York racing takes a little bit of a hiatus as we come out of Saratoga. All right, I'm going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll continue a little recap of the 2021 Saratoga season on this last Saratoga edition of Racing Across America. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Birdstone is an outside front. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. In front, but here comes Hot Chaparral. Hot Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Paula. These two arch rivals head to head with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish to the top. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing. Only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Family owned since 1980, DePaula means quality and convenience, along with concerned and certified technicians. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs. At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Over $2 million in original factory parts means you receive the very best for any make or model. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs.
It's post time for today's DePaula Play of the Day.
Welcome back. We are waiting on Steve Byk and his bonus Labor Day play of the day, but he's on the radio, so we're kind of trying to coordinate live radio with live television at the same time. But in the meantime, I can pull up really kind of intriguing and great numbers from the thoroughbred industry for the month of August. The thoroughbred racing handle numbers came out a day or so ago from Equibase, and the numbers are up and up nicely in August 2021 versus August 2020. Wagering up 4.52%. Purse money up significantly as well. But the numbers in August, 1.2 billion versus 1.15 billion. Last year, again, up over 4.5%. Year-to-date numbers, 2021 versus 2020, the numbers are up 17%, 8.5 billion versus 7.3 billion. Just knocking it out of the park. But more importantly, you say, well, last year was funny. Last year was funny, but it kind of in a decent way, really, in that the industry gained some new fans. But there was that period when the pandemic first started where there was really very, very limited racing. So you would think, okay, well, that maybe affected things. So let's kind of compare this year versus 2019 before the pandemic. We are still up just about 2.5%. So the numbers this year have just been crazy. 2.5% August to August. Let me make that clear, but let me go a little further down. Overall, year-to-date wagering. And again, earlier last year we had that period where there was the 4 tracks going. But so year to date, this year to last year, maybe is a little bit of but going back to pre-pandemic 2019, year to date wagering, it's up over 10% this year. So it's just, the numbers are phenomenal. And I think that's a reflection of the fact that racing did develop some new fans. There was something of a silver lining, if you could find a silver lining into the situation last year, but some new fans were developed. I think that then pulled in some new betting dollars. So those are just incredible numbers. Year to year, this year versus last year, up 17%, but going back to 2019 and comparing that year to this year, still over 10%. So great numbers there. All right, I'm being told in my ear that we do have Steve Byk, play of the day, so we'll send it to Steve.
Okay, I'm on, I guess. I don't see Seth. Where's my man? Where's America's favorite TV pundit? I'm sorry, Mick, by the way. Seth Merrow has overwhelmed the media landscape and has become America's favorite TV pundit, for those that aren't aware. Here it is, everybody, the last opportunity, the Paula play of the day. And I didn't know I was going to have this bonus selection. I thought Saturday was the wrap-up, but this is the 20th. And so here's the shot. And I really had trouble with this card. I wanted to get a price. I didn't want to try to finish with something short. And there are a couple of horses around the card that have potential. I would have loved to have gone with Orma in the nightcap, hoping that Louis Side puts a bow. And there is a little bit of intrigue yet remaining in the Jocks race. I'll talk about that with Mig on radio momentarily. But ultimately, I ended up in the 9th race. State Breds, second level allowance, going 6.5. And there's an 8-to-1 shot in here. Robert Falcone has got, if I had a chance for Sandy Goldfarb and partners, and Louis Saez ends up siding with an awesome debate for Bruce Brown off of the stake win, which I completely understand. However, there's a lot of speed in here, and if I had a chance, is turning back from the 1 1/8 win, the allowance win, on August 4th. And he's gone one turn and has been very competitive at one turn before. And with the pace that's involved here, with the speed and with the pressers, I got to really think that a closer is going to pick up the pieces. So 8-1, if I had a chance, Ricardo Santana Jr., who certainly hustles as well as anybody, just talked about him with Steve Asmussen and the season he's had up here. So here's my last play of the day. If I had a chance, the 4 in race 9 for the Paula play of the day. It's been so much fun doing this, and hope we can get one more winner, at least a horse that can cash tickets off the key. Ricardo Santana, Robert Falcone, who's looking for his 3rd win at the meet. If I had a chance, thanks for the chance to Paula and Capital OTB. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks to Steve for the DePaula play of the day. Again, he's done a great job, kind of knocked it out of the park early on, and it just kept things rolling. And as we talked about yesterday on Loose on the Lead, a few of those were that New York bred going long on the turf angle that has proven fruitful, and we'll see what can happen today. This one, not at that angle. This one is a sprint on the dirt for some state breds, but if I had a chance at 8-1, the 4-horse in race number 9. All right, I wanted to wrap up on the wrap-up show, pick up some of the highlights of the meet, and obviously some of the highlights for this past Saturday. But we played replays from this past Saturday, meaning Traverse Day. Yesterday or 2 days ago was good as well. But we looked at the Whitney, and we certainly looked at the Forego a number of times. So I pulled up some stretch runs from a little bit earlier in the meet. We'll also get the call on these as well. And I thought one of the highlights of the meet was going back to Whitney Day. Whitney always root for something big and something fun to happen, and it is going to be number 4, Nick's Go, getting it done on the front end as the favorite for trainer Brad Cox. Number 5, Maxfield 2nd. Silver State runs 3rd. Swiss Skydiver 4th in here. But a nice performance. August 7th, we'll watch the stretch run. Number 4, Nick's Go under Joel Rosario.
The split horses, then the filly Swiss Skydiver, now 1/8 of a mile to the finish, and it is Nick's Go out in the middle of the track and holding on to the lead here. It's Nick's Go with a wire-to-wire victory in the 94th running of the Grade 1 Whitney. Maxfield was 2nd, and Silver State finished 3rd, the mile and a furlong, 1 minute, 47 3/5 seconds.
Joel kind of easing him up under the wire, and a 111 buyer for Nick's Go. And again, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Can Nick's Go hold that speed for 1.25 miles? That's going to be the big question mark a little bit later this year, but certainly looked good at the 1.125 miles distance up here at Saratoga in the Whitney early in August, again with a 111 buyer. I said earlier I had Michael Dubb and Libby Imperio in earlier, and we were talking Faith's House and Belmont Child Care Association and whatnot. And then they got up after the interview, and Libby said, we have a pretty good horse in tomorrow as well. And I kind of like, we should have talked about that. And yes, we should have, because the nice horse she had in the next day, we were talking on a Friday, and the following day, again, going back to August 7th, Test, really one of my favorite races up here every year for the 3-year-old sprinting fillies. And the favorite was Search Results for Chad and company. Chad Klarovich, and I'm looking, Mark Cassie with Super Sensational is going to run 2nd at 13-1, but Search Results was the 8-5 favorite in here. That one's going to run 3rd, the number 7 horse, Search Results. Number 2 is Super Sensational. But wow, Bella Sophia, big win with a limited number of starts under the belt. This may be a potential superstar, and this may have been the unveiling for that one. So number 8 is going to be Bella Sophia. It's Luis Saez, as I say, Michael Imperio, Libby and Company, Rudy Rodriguez trains. The Test, we'll watch the stretch run here, and as I say, a very lightly raced horse with an unveiling of a potential superstar back on August 7th.
Stretch. Illumination closest to the rail with the lead. Bella Sophia is all out on the outside in second. And then Super Sensational and Search Results. And there's the move by Bella Sophia to take over the lead in deep stretch. A 16th to the finish. It is Bella Sophia with Super Sensational giving chase in second. Bella Sophia with a top-notch effort to win the Grade 1 Longines test. Super Sensational was second. Search Results third. And the 7 furlongs, 1 minute, 21 and 2/5 seconds.
Yeah, I went down to the winner's circle afterwards, and I said to Libby Imperial, if you got a horse like this and we're on the air, kick me under the table and say, hey, let's bring up the horse while we're on the air. Bella Sophia getting it done in the test. Really looking good. Bella Sophia comes out of that with a 101 buyer figure. Going to be fun to see what's up next for her, as I say. Potential superstar there. Not potential superstar, but a bona fide superstar in Got Stormy. Ran a week later, August 14th, in the 4-star day. I think a lot of people thought, is this still the Got Stormy of old? Of course, it was the previous seasons where Got Stormy had won the 4-star day off the 1 week layoff, had won the ungraded stakes race, and then came back a week later and won the 4-star day 2 years back. Subsequently ran second to Halliday, loose on the lead runner in last year's 4-star day. But Got Stormy goes off at 12-1 because, as I say, I think folks were kind of thinking, maybe she's lost a step. No. Got Stormy faces the boys as the 6 horse will win. Number 5 Set Piece runs second. Casa Creed a good third in here, the number 4 horse. But let's watch the stretch run. The filly or the female beating the males for the second time in the 4-star day, August 14th, stretch run of the 4-star day.
At the top of the stretch, here is Whisper Not up to challenge Blowout for the lead. Got Stormy ranges up on the outside. It is Got Stormy who has now come away with the lead. Got Stormy is in front as they come down for the 16th pole. She's in front here by 2. A late run on the outside from Set Piece, but Got Stormy has won the Grade 1 4-star Dave handicap, and she completes the mile on the inner turf in 1 minute, 33 seconds.
And we had talked to Tyler Gaffleone a couple days before and caught up to him in the backyard of the Jocks room and had a nice interview with him. And so it was nice to see the follow-up there, the win subsequently on Got Stormy. And he, gave it the fist bump coming onto the wire, and deservedly so. She looked fabulous in there, winning the 4-star day against the boys for the second time. So that was another nice performance. She comes out of that with a 104 buyer figure. And finally, I wanted to show, I mentioned it a little bit earlier on the Handicappers Report, a week and a half or 10 days ago, Travers Day, I think we saw probably 3 champions, Essential Quality, Gamine, Latruska. But I think we probably saw one earlier in the meet, August 21st. We'll watch the Alabama Malathat coming out of the Ding Dong Battle runner-up finish to Maracuja in the Coaching Club American Oaks, which is another great Saratoga race. A nice win by Maracuja. But Malathat comes back and shows her talent as the favorite in the Alabama. Malathat will be the number 6 horse, Clariere the number 3, Army Wife the number 7. And you would have to think with the Kentucky Oaks and the Alabama, she's probably the 3-year-old filly champ. I won't say it's a sure thing. We've seen funnier things happen in the last few months of the year where, a horse can kind of wake up and maybe start to move to that front of the class. But I think Malathat's in a pretty good spot. And we will look at the stretch run. Again, from August 21st, this is Malathat in the Alabama.
The 5th as the field heads for home in the Alabama. On the outside, it's Army Wife with Malathat. Then Clariere, played hard, is down towards the rail with Will's Secret. And now there's an 1/8 of a mile to the finish. It is Army Wife and Malathat has taken the lead with the 16th to the finish. Malathat, Army Wife, Clariere, Malathat back in the win column as she takes the Alabama. Then it was Clariere and Army Wife, and the final time for the 1.25 miles, 2 minutes, 2 and 2/5 seconds.
John Velasquez on board, grabbing the Grade 1 Alabama, and always that puts a nice little exclamation point on your season when you can get some Grade 1 victories. So congratulations to Velasquez, Pletcher, and company. She comes out of that with a 95 Beyer, and as I say, you pair that up with the Kentucky Oaks, the Alabama and the Kentucky Oaks, two of the premier races for the 3-year-old fillies. She's in a good spot now. We'll see how the rest of the year plays out, but we definitely saw some champions up here at Saratoga and kind of put things away with Saratoga victories. Things can always change, but some of these you would have to think are going to be tough to overcome, given the resume some of these horses already have. Essential Quality certainly looking pretty good coming out of the Travers victory. And as they say, over the past week and a half or so, we've already looked at some of those Travers Day, the fabulous, the one everybody's going to be talking about, everybody has talked about, and is going to continue to talk about. Yalpan in the Forgo with Ferenzi Fire trying to take the chunk out. Jackie's Warrior looked very good. Latruska certainly super impressive. Gamine and whatnot. And then yesterday, Max Player in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. And it's been, I said it last year, continued to say it this year. It was so unfortunate that fans couldn't be here last year to see the great performances. Tis the Law, Gamine, Swiss Skydiver, but this year fans were back on track and they were treated to some really fabulous performances, some of them just over the last, as I say, 10 days or so, but some of those from a little bit earlier in the meet. Mentioned it earlier in the Handicappers Report, but if you weren't tuned in, I will once again set you up for how it's going to play out over the last day as far as the jockey and trainer standings. It looks like both are wrapped up. Luis Saez has a 6-win lead. That's a little tough to overcome in one day of racing. He was gate to wire pretty much with a great meet. Luis Saez, 62 wins. Irad Ortiz, 56. Jose Ortiz, 51. Joel Rosario, 43. And Tyler Gaffleone with 33, tied with Ricardo Santana. Gaffleone and Santana both with 33 in the 5th position on the jockey standings. But congratulations to Luis Saez and his agent, Kieran McLaughlin, on a really fabulous season. Trainer side, Chad Brown has it wrapped up with a 10-win lead. The big second half of the season, maybe the big last third of the season, where he just lit things up. And again, a little earlier in the year, he said it, with the off-the-turf events, that made things maybe a little bit tough for his barn, but he was in there, stayed in contention, and ripped things off over the last couple of weeks. Chad Brown, 40 wins. Todd Pletcher, 30 wins. Mike Maker, 24. Steve Asmussen, 18. Christophe Clement, 16 wins. So Chad Brown, Luis Saez, your leaders going into the last day, and with leads that are looking insurmountable. So congratulations to both of them, but also the other trainers who also had fabulous meets as well. So again, been a really fabulous meet up here. I did want to show one race from yesterday, just maybe a horse to watch out of town. And I was standing talking with the West Point folks, Terry Finley, Tommy Bellhouse yesterday, and Terry said, check out this upcoming 8th race a little bit later on from Delmar. Our flight line is going to be running. And so I think the guys have the stretch run of yesterday's optional. Be the number 8 horse. Goes off as the 1-5 favorite. Watch this one open up in the stretch. The chart margin is eventually going to be just under 13 lengths. I bring this up because Flightline may be one to watch, kind of fun to watch going forward. This is a West Point thoroughbred owned horse, but in partnership with some others. So on this day, not wearing the very recognizable West Point silks, but it is in partnership. West Point is in on this one, and they were part of the group that bought this horse right up here, just down the street, 2 summers ago. They paid $1 million. A son of Tappet out of the Damn Feathered by Indian Charlie. Debuted in April, won by 13 lengths that day with a 105 buyer figure. I mean, you debut and get a 105. Let's automatically say, wow. Followed up, obviously went to the sidelines for a little bit, so comes back on Sunday afternoon and wins again by, as I say, almost 13 lengths. I have not yet seen the buyer. Be interested in that. But Flightline, just wanted to pull that up as, again, maybe an interesting horse to watch. And again, with West Point being involved, some local connections we're kind of noting as well. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, John Signor, president of Capital OTB, will jump in, give us a little rundown and a recap of the capital OTB perspective of Saratoga 2021. All of that right after this. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the West. I'm Scott Varley at Saratoga's latest and greatest high-rise luxury condo. Starting in the mid-fives, every condo here has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths and upgrades just like this. Check out these oversized private balconies. We also have a gym, a private lounge, and get this, a heated parking garage. To make a reservation for your private condo at the West, call or text me. I'm Scott Varley at 518-281-6808.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
For 4 generations and looking forward to a 5th, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued their 99-year tradition of delighting their faithful following with the finest authentic Italian recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Some things have changed in the last 99 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Welcome back to Racing Across America. Closing day up here at Saratoga. Again, always a bittersweet afternoon, but we've enjoyed it up here with our Clare court set and the horses working out behind us. Always fun and getting in a array of guests that I think were very good this year, and I hopefully handed out some information to you via the guests and whatnot that allowed you to make some money. And we will get, as I say, the Capital OTB perspective on the 2021 Saratoga meet from Capital OTB President John Signor, now annually here on closing weekend to give us the recap. John, good morning.
Hey, Seth, how you doing?
Very good.
To see you. Yeah, it's going fast.
It always goes fast. Too fast.
You know, it's I can remember walking in opening day after being off for a year and thinking, all right, let's savor this thing, and lo and behold, we're already at day 40. So
I'll get your perspective on that, though.
Yeah.
It was fun. The first few days, it was fun to come in and just see everybody had, normally at the racetrack, there's always a few sour faces, but the first couple of weeks, and I think it's kind of lasted through the meet, it was fun to see people back, and I think everybody really, it gave us all a chance to appreciate what we missed.
Absolutely. I mean, just walking in opening day, every year when you walk in opening day, it kind of feels like you just left the day before. This didn't feel that way because we were off for a year. So, there was that added kind of, hey, we're back and this is great. And no, it was great. And you know what? It's funny. I've been thinking the people make the track. The track makes the event. The people make the track. I was thinking about that. All the people you see up here, all the people you haven't seen for a year because of COVID or haven't really spent a lot of time with, when you're a horse racing fan, you want to be with like-minded people, right? And this place, everybody's a horse racing fan. Everybody who's here is a horse racing fan. Everybody here is having a good time. Even if they're betting $1 a race or $1,000 a race, they're all having a good time. They're all part of the scene. They're all part of Saratoga racing season. So yeah, it's been a great meet, a lot of fun, and I can't believe it's over. But let's finish on a strong note.
All the trainers and jockeys and horse people we had in said very much what you just said. The fans are what make it so special up here. And last year it was just very different. Still a win up in Saratoga, but to have the fans back and Steve Asmussen, his comments over the last few weeks to get the win record and to have the fans back here. It made it that much more special, and everybody kind of recognized it was fun to get back.
And that was a great piece with Asmussen. It reminds me of when Mark Cusano had Bob Baffert on Travers Day before, you're talking about American Pharoah, for like 40 minutes. And it's like, really? He's on for 40 minutes? So, no, we appreciate Asmussen giving us so much time, as long with everybody else. I mean, all the trainers, owners, everybody in the racing industry, the NYRA officials who came over. It was tremendous. And I think, I look at Capital OTB during the Saratoga meet as kind of comfort food a little bit, right? You're up in the morning, you're grabbing your paper and your breakfast, and you turn on the channel, and you may not listen to every word that's said, but you're like, all right, I know the track's open today. I want to just get that flavor going in the morning and then head to the track in the afternoon. So.
Yeah, I continue to say it, and I really appreciate it. The feedback I get over there in the afternoon is incredible. I mean, you're down in the studio most of the year, and so you're sequestered in there, but we get out here, and as you say, it's horse racing fans. It's all our audience, clearly. A lot of thumbs up. People clearly appreciate the morning program, and that's hats off to you and the board of directors who have made the programming live here at Saratoga a real priority going back years and years now. And I can tell you it is greatly appreciated, and I appreciate, and we all do appreciate, the feedback we get over on the front side.
Yeah, and you made a good point about the board of directors. I mean, their job, our charge at OTB is to generate money for the racing industry and to generate money for local governments. I mean, they're really our two main jobs. And we spend money up here, and they could easily say, hey, let's save money and give more back to the local governments. But our board has been fantastic. They've been supportive. They love the racing industry as much as anybody, and they understand the importance of having Capital OTB up here on a daily basis, doing what we do for year after year, and providing the racing fans and the betting public with a lot of content, and I'm happy for that support, and it's been a terrific year.
And we should mention, I think people more and more are getting clued into that, but here we are on the last day, and so folks who may be headed out of town now, we should reiterate, you're not locked in as maybe 20 years ago to only watching here, because I still hear a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people. Hey, I'm down in New Jersey and I'm watching you guys, or I'm out in Chicago, whatever. So a lot of people are clued in, but people should be aware. You can now check it out on your computer, but we went to Roku at the beginning of the year, the Roberts channel, and I've gotten a lot of feedback. Like I say, I talked to some New Jersey guys who are, I'm going through the Roberts channel, and there you are, so I've started watching it regularly. So people should be aware, if you come up during the meet and you like the programming here, it's available all year long, wherever you are.
Yeah, I've talked to the Roberts officials at Roberts who say, we love watching your channel, so it's a great addition to their product. They show all the tracks, Roberts television network, which is all the simulcasting, all the tracks, and then we're kind of a special event related to that, and it's been a great relationship. We're happy to be on Roku. We want to get our product out as far as wide as we can. We love the racing game, and we want to get that out to people who again are like-minded. So.
On that note, I was in the paddock 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Keith Chamblin from the NTRA made a point of grabbing me as I was walking out. He was behind me, and he said, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm watching you every morning down in Lexington. Great job on the morning programming. And he was watching via the Roberts channel. And so it's fun to hear the industry people checking in, too.
Well, I mean, a couple years ago, I remember I met the guy who ran, at the time it was Express Bet, not First Bet. It was Express Bet. And I'm like, you probably don't know, about, a couple of blah, blah. He goes, no, but he goes, you guys put the one sheet out every day and this and that, and you guys do it. I mean, it's pretty, I guess if you're in the, in that inner circle kind of, people know kind of what everybody's doing. But it was good. It was good to hear the feedback. And a guy from Keeneland who did all the archive races for Keeneland. I was in the paddock a couple years ago, said the same thing. He goes, you guys do a great job. So yeah, it's nice to get that feedback, and we hear it every day too. And it's that's why we're here. We want to provide content to the horse players and in the capital region, but also beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. And so folks should keep that in mind. If you have been in town during the meet, enjoying the program, you can follow us all year long, no matter where you are. Before we go to some specifics and whatnot, why don't you just give us an overview on the season from Capital OTB?
Yeah, it's been a solid year. It's been, the last 3 years have been kind of, 19 was a strong year, 20 was a crazy year. 20 obviously without spectators here, and our branches were open, and we gained a lot on mobile sports betting and people in our branches, and we had a great meet last year. I mean, there was no way. I mean, now we're talking about historic meet. We had a historic meet last year. I would have rather not had that historic meet. I would have rather had people at the track and spectators and had the same kind of year. But that's, unfortunately, we kind of were, the horse racing industry, and you mentioned this a lot, was kind of a beneficiary of
silver lining
of the horrible year that occurred last year. So this year, kind of back to normal, comparing our numbers to 2019. A very solid year, very happy with the numbers. We appreciate all the bettors. There's a lot of options out there for people to bet. We're just happy people are wager and are part of the industry, right? They support the industry. Whether you bet with Naira Bets, you bet with Capital OTB Bets, you bet with Saratoga, you bet with whoever. We appreciate you supporting the racing industry. That's the most important thing. Obviously, we'd prefer you bet with us, but we understand there's options. We understand people have their preferences.
The old rising tide lifts all boats.
Absolutely. So we're just happy that people are wagering. They're supporting the industry, and you just rattled off the numbers I heard you on the way up. I mean, August numbers are through the roof. So good stuff. And let's keep that going. And a little bit on. You talked about our studio here and where we are at Clare Court, and it's, it is kind of awesome seeing the horses working out in the background when you guys are doing Handicappers Report. But we do, and you guys have said it a lot, we thank Naira for our ability to be on track and to do what we do. They obviously see it as a benefit to them, and we're happy about that. We're happy that we can benefit and bring Saratoga into the living rooms of everybody in the capital region, and like I said, beyond. So Naira's had a historic year, great numbers, great product. I mean, the weather really wasn't fantastic either. You had a lot.
$750 million.
A lot of races off the turf, though, hot and rainy some weeks. So, I mean, the fact that they did that is phenomenal, and all credit goes to Dave O'Rourke and his team, Pat McKenna, Marty Pan, so the whole team over there. But they've been great to us. Congratulations to them on a fantastic meet. Dave's helped us out on a couple things, but in general, we appreciate them allowing us to be here on site every day and putting out content that helps promote their track and helps promote. Really, it's, we say it every year. This is our major league sport right here. The Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, that's their major league sport. The Yankees, the Mets, the Knicks, up in upstate New York, Saratoga Racecourse is our major league sport. And we love being part of it. We love promoting it, and the numbers show that people are responding, and it's been a great season for everybody. So good stuff.
Also, can't leave after Saratoga season without tipping our cap to the sponsors we have every year. They help us bring this programming to you, so we appreciate all the sponsors. You see all the commercials and promos during the programming in the morning and during the day as well. So just want to tip our cap to those folks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Brian. I sent Brian the tweet. I don't know if you had that, Brian, but yeah, I mean, our sponsors, and I'd like, Pennell's Restaurant, Leah Auto Group, the Paula, Trackside Grill, Horseshoe Inn, Jacob and Anthony's, the West, which is, I used to live over near there, the West.
I used to work with Scott. Scott used to host a show that I produced years ago.
So I lived over on West Ave over there, and they were building those condos at the time. So if you're looking for a condo, go to the West. Downing Street Station, I've been there. Bonaventure Stables, great supporters of ours. They supported the bankrolls that Mike did on Wednesdays, and Gulfstream Park has been one of our main sponsors through the year, not just during Saratoga. So yeah, we do appreciate their support. Mentioning the DePaula, obviously they supported the play of the day. We have Anthony Stabile. Anthony, we hope you're doing well. We hope you're healthy. We know there had a COVID issue there at some point, and then obviously Steve Byk. Both of those were pretty hot with their plays of the day. So we had a bankroll team that will benefit from the dollars that were generated from those plays of the day. So that was good stuff. Steve, I love that angle that Steve gave out, the turf going long, New York Reds, good stuff. So So yeah, that was terrific, and happy that our bettors are going to benefit from those plays of the day.
And that is a perfect lead into the promos and events. We really had a full slate. Hats off to Shannon Donovan and Mike Callahan, the marketing department. They kind of coordinate all of that. But we had a number of promos and events, and as usual, a lot of free money to the customers.
Yeah, a lot of free money. And ironically, we were hoping that, we did the Pick 5 Syndicate, and we were hoping that we'd strike gold a couple of times up here, because on Kentucky Derby weekend, we hit a Pick 4. I think Mike hit it for like 10,000.
Yeah, that Kentucky Oaks.
Then the syndicate, which the actual participants make the picks, hit the Pick 5, I believe, at Churchill for 20,000. So we gave away $30,000 in winnings to our bettors just over 24 hours. So we were kind of hoping we were going to strike gold up here. It was kind of, the Pick 5 was weird up here. It was either paying $100 grand or it was paying $200. It was crazy up here. So I know we hit it a bunch of times, but we didn't hit it for the 10 or 15,000 we were kind of looking for. But notwithstanding that, it was great. And we had we had Pick 4 promotions. We had the live bankrolls that Bonaventure supported with Mike that generated some money. So we had Pick 3s. We had a bunch of contests and promos at the clubhouse as well, and we did the show pool. And I know you were a little reluctant on that show pool when we first talked about it, but
I'm still not quite sure. It came in that everything fell into place last week.
The show pool struck gold, and I'll tell you a quick story. So Mike Callahan sends me a text, and we had $900, and I said, "Gee, should we just keep the 900, or
should we kind of saying the same?
Should we go half and half?" And then I text back to Mike and I said, what are the rules of the game? And he goes, well, no, we got to go all in. So we went all in, and sure enough, not only did the horse, I think 10-1, 11-1 or something, the horse won for fun, and the show pool paid $2,900. We had 10 participants, so $290 to each. Free money just for throwing your name, just for going on our website and say I want to participate. Yeah. So good stuff. And we're not, the promos don't stop now. We this is something we do year round. I know it gets a little more attention during Saratoga because more eyes are on us, but we do promotions year round. So if you do have an OTB account, check out our website. We're doing this stuff year round. We're doing the syndicate. We'll be doing it, when the championship meet comes at Belmont, and obviously we'll be doing it around the Breeders' Cup. So stay in touch with the channel and with our website to get more information on that.
Yeah, again, nothing wrong with free money, and we handed some out during the meet. That showed everything couldn't have worked out any better. And I was kind of texting to Mike too. Should we maybe half it? And Mike said, no.
Yeah. Mike was all in. So he was good. He was good.
As they came down the stretch, the horse wins, and I immediately get the call from Mike, and I screamed into the phone. I was sitting in a seat. Everybody around looked, and that was just a crazy string of 3 races where it just all fell into place.
Yeah, that was good. That was a lot of fun.
Also want to mention our charities. We give free money to some of the charities too, and that's a lot of fun because that ties in to our Times Union work. And every day, one of the OTB handicappers has a little charity bet, and everybody's made a little money for the charity.
Yeah, we started that a couple years ago. A $50 bet every day on behalf of the charities, and our charities were Old Friends, the STEP program, PDJF, Racing Museum, and Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. So, and I think we all won some money. Everybody had their charity, and they generated money, and it was, and so all the charities are going to end up with some money, which is nice. And again, we do that every year. We try to do other things with the charities as well. I know you promote it a lot during the course of the year. Happy to do so. It's a critical part of the industry. Is the charities that take care of our horses, retired horses, jockeys, Terry Meeks, we do with a lot on that, and we tried to have a PDJF event earlier with some of the jockeys at the clubhouse, but just with COVID and stuff, it was hard to do this year, but maybe next year. But no, we're happy to support all the charities, and we'll continue to do it during the year, but of course we'll do it every time during Saratoga. And you mentioned the Times Union, which we have that little competition between the TU and handicappers and the OTB handicappers, and generally it's pretty close at the end of the meet.
We're right down to the last couple of days.
But this year we opened up. We opened up like I don't know who's a sprinter. We can kind of Groovy. Yeah, there you go, Groovy. A lot of people won't know that reference, but
look it up.
There you go. Like one of my favorite sprinters of all time, Angel Cordero. But we opened up and we've been pulling the Paco under our shoulders, looking for it. But I think they beat us the last couple of years, so that's always fun. I think you had 6 winners yesterday and you only tied. So
Tim Wilkin has been on a tear.
He's been on fire. He had 5, 6.
Yeah.
So he's picked it up a notch. But it's always fun. Those guys are great. Tim Wilkin's great. I know he's done the show too. He's been on Racing Across America as well. So we're happy to be part of the TU Green Sheet. As one of their main sponsors on there. Again, promoting racing, promoting Capital OTB, promoting the racing up here. So that's been terrific. And again, just supporting the charities is something that we'll always do here.
And before we wrapped up, you talked about obviously the Saratoga season. We love to have people come up here, but this year with some of the steamy days, you could have taken advantage of our easy bet locations, the branches, the clubhouse racebook or whatnot. And I know, some people maybe get out of work and want to catch the last couple of races. They're closer to a branch or whatnot. So love to have people come up and enjoy the product. But certainly during the year, there are reasons why people go to the branches and whatnot. So I like to tip our cap also to the OTB employees who keep all that running.
I mean, this year probably more than in past years, right? Because it's hard to hire people right now. I mean, we've been trying to hire people. So our staffing is pretty limited. So in order for our branches to be open, our people have to come in every day. And they're the face of Capital OTB, and they did that. They came in every day, worked hard, and we're there for our bettors to come in and enjoy, get some wagers in, enjoy the Saratoga meet. So kudos to our employees, our branch managers. Without them, we're not as profitable as we would be, and they're the face of Capital OTB out in the field, and we appreciate everything they do, and we appreciate that many of them did not miss a day of the entire 40-day meet, and that's dedication, loyalty, and we really appreciate that and thank them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go, I also want to, I know you called up some pictures from an event earlier in the year. And I always appreciate these kind of things because, man, this nothing says racing fan like taking a big life event and having it happen at the racetrack.
Well, let me just touch on one thing right before it. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But I want to I thanked our bettors again. OTB TV, thank you, Seth. Great job. Mike Callahan, Anthony Mormino, Brian, Steve Byk, Anthony Stabile, we mentioned them. And even we had a blog, somebody who did a blog, Peter Appleby, who did a blog on the site. It's just been, everybody's done a terrific job up here, and it's not many, I don't think any hiccups this year, which is unusual. Obviously, our TV crew, Brian Dorenzo, who edits a lot of the pieces, goes out in the field. A lot of the stuff you see, he's editing and then turning into gold. Mick Richards has done a great job. He's up here early in the morning. When we show you the morning workouts, that's Mick getting up here early and going to the front side and showing that video. And I think, people like that. People like that. Again, that's comfort food in the morning. You kind of just see the track and you're going in the afternoon, and it's something. Dino and Danny back at the Clubhouse Racebook, back at the studio there, and then as you mentioned, Shannon, Mike, and the marketing department, and Charles, and all our employees did a great job this year, and we couldn't be happier with the way the meet went.
Yeah, as I say, I will pass on behalf of the fans the feedback I get, and everybody appreciates all the work that is done, and I have to tip my cap to the same folks.
As my buddy said after we hit a pick 5. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So there you go.
I like that. So again, let's get to the photos you pulled up, because this was a little bit earlier in the meeting, as I say. I love it when somebody brings a big life event to the track, because nothing says racing fan more than that.
Yeah, and this is what you and I talked about when we first started this interview here, is the people, in my view, make the track. The people make the track. Because if I had to come up here every day by myself and I didn't know there were going to be 50 other people I knew up here, I don't think I'd come to the track. But the fact that I know the fact that I know I'm coming to the track and I know I'm going to see, all these other people who I know, who are like-minded, who like to, we're going to be talking racing all day, is one of the reasons I love coming to the track. I love the horses, but 3 years ago we had 4 pick 5s. I can't tell you one horse that won one of those races, but I can tell you every person I was with, where we were, and where we had dinner afterwards. So I think it's the people that make this place as great as it is. I don't know, Brian, if you have those photos. So earlier in the meet, I think on July 31st, there's James and Tara. So James and Tara got married at the track. Great people. James is a retired fireman in Saratoga Springs. He's here, and they've spent so much time over the years at Saratoga that they decided to get married at Saratoga. And I'm going to mention just a lot of, and there's my buddy Shane. Now Seamus officiated. That's Sully's father, Seamus Crotty.
All right.
So Seamus officiated the wedding, and you can see all the people in the back and all the people around. And I'm just going to mention names that I think are what make the track, right? So there's Seamus and Patty and Kelly, James and Tara, Frank and Maddie. When you're walking through, you see those guys. They'll ask you if you want a beer. Rich, Jim, and John, Bobby, Mikey, Expo, and Sally, and Eddie. Some of Seamus's sons, Sully, but he's also got Casey and Connor. They're here all the time at the track. They're buddies, Joe, Jack, Jack being James's son, and Jack O'Toole, another guy. And then you see Artie, Dave, and Tommy. At the paddock bar, you see, a couple, I won't say their last names, but you see Bob and Jim are there, and, the guys in the know who they are. So the bottom line is, I think that the people make this track. Look at that crowd. For probably 90% of those people don't know James and Tara, but they're checking out the wedding. They know something's going on. And there's Skip Dickstein taking photos right there. You can see him with his back to us with the hat on. So I just wanted to I wasn't able to go to the wedding, unfortunately. I was in Cape Cod, so I felt bad I couldn't go to the wedding. And had I been here, I would have promoted the wedding. They probably would have had another 1,000 people there. But I guess, the track's great, the racing is great, the horses are fantastic, we love it. But in my view, it's the people who make this track what it is. And I think the wedding and the people who are there show you that's the case. So that's my final, that's my soapbox.
I'm guessing we know what they're going to be doing for their anniversary for forever now. Where they're going to be.
I'm sure they're going to be here today, as a matter of fact. But yeah, it's been a great meet and a lot of fun, and we're like I said, can't believe it's over, but we're looking forward to next year. But racing doesn't stop. We have Kentucky Downs, we have Belmont Park, we have the championship meet, we have the Woodward coming up, we have Keeneland coming up. Santa Anita will be racing again soon, and then we'll be at Breeders' Cup. So, and then we'll be at the championship meet at Gulfstream soon. So
it's interesting how we mark the calendar
by racing.
Saratoga,
it's not Christmas. It's the championship meet at Gulfstream. So great stuff. Thanks all the fans. Thanks for all the viewers. Seth, great job. Number 7 at the ADR. We love promoting that.
Crazy stuff.
Well deserved, and again, all the guys. Brian did a great job. Anthony. I thought Anthony really showed his handicapping chops this year. To be honest, I think, Anthony's. I don't know why I'm ending with this. I meant to say it sooner, but Anthony kind of is known as just long shots, and but he had 6 winners the other day, and I think he really focused on his handicapping being in the TU, and he really showed his chops, and I was happy about that. I think he's known as, he'll get 1 winner, in 3 cards, but that 1 winner will pay for everything. But no, that guy can handicap. So
I'm envious because he was out at He was out at Arlington yesterday. Took the family out to Arlington before it closed down. I said when he left, I'm envious you're getting to do that. But he texted me a few shots from Arlington, but also then texted a nice $500 executive ticket to start the day.
Good for him. Good for him. So good stuff. Again, congratulations on a great meet. Brian and Mick, great job. And everybody at Capital TV, thanks for all your efforts. We had a very solid Saratoga meet, and let's finish the year off strong.
Sounds good. John Signor, president of Capital TV. We'll take a quick break. I'll come back and quickly kind of wrap things up and thank people myself. So stay tuned. We'll be back for just a couple of minutes right after this.
For 4 generations and looking forward to a 5th, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued their 99-year tradition of delighting their faithful following with the finest authentic Italian recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Some things have changed in the last 99 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the Capital Region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Welcome back to Racing Across America as we wind things up. Woo-hoo for 2021. As I said, it's a little bittersweet. You hate to see it go, but it's been a long meet, and so we're all ready maybe for a little bit of a break. And as John said, the great racing continues, of course. But wrapping things up here at Saratoga. As always, to wrap things up, though, I also like to take some time to thank people. And I will reiterate, I'm thanking on my behalf, certainly, but also I want to thank all these people on behalf of the fans, because I really appreciate the feedback I get, and it's great positive feedback all meet long. People come up and thumbs up, and they want to talk, and they love the programming, and a lot of people, as I said earlier, really like the Asmussen interview from Saturday. You can check that out on YouTube if you didn't see it Saturday, but that was fun also. But in the control room all season long, Mick Richards and Brian Dorenzo. Mick does a lot of the tape pieces. He went out and spends then time doing some editing and turning them into actually little featured pieces. He sets things up in the morning for the workouts when you watch those as well. Mick does a great job, so thanks to Mick. Brian is actually working all the controls in there on a daily basis on the morning program. He does a great job there. He also went out and did some of our tape pieces and editing this year. Great job there. So again, up here every day during the meet, Mick Richards and Brian Dorenzo, thanks to them. For folks who don't know, the signal from here goes down to our Albany studio, and some of the elements are dropped in down there. And down there is Dino Cantonacci and Dan Hayes. They did yeoman's work, as they do all year long down in the studio, but they also are much appreciated here on the set, making me look good, making things easy. So Mick, Brian, Dino, and Dan, great work putting out the product every morning during the meet. Mentioned the marketing department, Shannon Donovan, Mike Callahan, Charlie Butler. Shannon and Mike do a lot of the promos. They put a lot of that together. If you've been involved in the promos and events, they coordinate a lot of that and more, and bring in some of the advertisers. So we appreciate Shannon and Mike. Charlie does a great job with the website and some of the graphics you see with the promos and whatnot. So again, Shannon, Mike, and Charlie, great job at the meet. Again, thanks to John Signor and the board of directors for their concentration on this morning programming, realizing how important it is to you, and for a couple of decades now, making it available. So appreciation to the guys up the ladder at the Capital OTB Corporation. Of course, thanks to the New York Racing Association for their hospitality. I mean, it was a couple of years ago, Randy Moss sat down here from NBC. He said, you guys have the best set in all of television, all of racing television. And I think we do right here in Clear Court, where you can see and hear the horses working out behind us every morning, and one almost coming in the front door about the middle of the meet. There was a loose horse. Folks may remember we kind of went to a standstill on the show because he walked by, looked at our opening here on the front, and you can't tell, but we're enclosed all around other than an opening in front. But the horse looked in like, man, maybe I'm coming to join you, and luckily he had other plans. And then subsequently he kind of stopped over here, and the folks were able to corral him, and all was well there. But that was exciting also. But it's a great location. We're here on the backstretch. That means being Saratoga, we are a golf cart ride away to the biggest names in the game, and we really appreciate that Naira says come here every meet and help us promote this sport. So again, thanks to Dave O'Rourke, the head of the New York Racing Association, over in the press office, Pat McKenna, Keith McCalmont, up in the press box. Steve, want to thank him as well, Tony Podlaski, Pedro in the press box. I'll take a shot to thank him as well. So again, I want to thank all the, as I say, I do it not only for myself, but on behalf of the fans there who, again, have given me thumbs up. The folks who were also sitting here during the meet, Brian Nadeau, who was in a little bit earlier, thanks to him, Anthony Mormino, Mike Callahan sat in for some handicapping reports, also did some of the bank rolls here live on the air. Anthony Stabile and Steve Byk, great job with the DePaula Play of the Day this year, so I want to thank them as well. Steve, of course, my co-host on Sunday morning on Loose on the Lead as well. That was a lot of fun. Over in the press box, I want to thank Tim Wilkin from the Times-Union. We had him sit in. Mike McAdam from the Gazette doing a great job through the whole meet as well. He sat in one morning, so we've had both of them on, but it was fun, the head-to-head battle we have with the Times-Union and Tim Wilkin. As I say, he's been on fire the past few weeks, so if you look at the last day, check out Tim's selections. We had some guest handicappers as well. On Sundays, we had 3 open slots, so Steve Byk came in and did one of those, but thanks also to Pete Fornatal, who came in and guest handicapped one Sunday, and Richard Migliori yesterday, who came in. I got some comments on the front side yesterday from folks who thought Mig was a lot of fun yesterday, giving a little bit of a jockey perspective, horseman perspective to the handicapping yesterday, and it was fun to have him in. Most of all, as always, when we wrap up the season, thanks to you, the racing fans, for tuning in. And as I say, I totally appreciate the feedback that I get during the year on the front side, because you are our audience, racing fans. You're all over there at some point during the meet. Lots of thumbs up and taking the time to make some comments and comment specifically on what you've seen on a particular show or whatnot. And so I accept that. I pass that on to all the people I just mentioned as well. But I really appreciate it. We appreciate your tuning in, and then we appreciate you taking the time to give that kind of feedback. So we're going to wrap it up for the Saratoga season, but again, we appreciate your tuning in. As noted, racing continues. Programming will continue here on the network as well. We'll take a couple of days hiatus, obviously, as we move equipment back down into the studio in Albany, but we'll be back with our morning programming, of course, afternoon handicapping as well as we get back to the studio down in Albany. So stay tuned. If you're not from here, you're moving out back to home, don't forget you can watch us wherever you are via the computer, via Roku or whatnot. We'd love to have you tune in at those remote locations, because you can now catch Capital O TV. It's the 21st century, baby. You can watch us wherever you are, and we hope you do. So again, I'm going to wrap it up. As they say every year at this time, I'm the last one in, so I'm going to turn out the lights and take off, although technically I'm not the last one in. The folks turning off the lights will be Brian and Mick as they break down the equipment and whatnot, and so we appreciate their effort over the next couple of days of doing that yeoman's work as well. But I'm going to wrap it up. Been a fun meet. Thanks also to everybody who came over here and sat in, all the trainers, the jockeys, the industry people, for taking the time to make the morning programming what it is. We really appreciate their taking time during a busy Saratoga season. Again, thanks to you. Thanks to all the folks behind the scenes who helped me put on the show. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll see you back in the studio in a few days. Enjoy the last day of racing here at Saratoga. Put a little money in your pocket. We'll see you next time here on OTB TV.
You've been watching Racing Across America. Racing Across America has been brought to you by... Racing Across America is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The Leah Auto Group, Leah Cars for life. Find them on the web at leahcars.com. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State. And the Clubhouse Racebook. Can't make it to the track? Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.